Hello students, I am making your writing measurable goals for your fictional student assignment live here as soon as I finish this screencast. Now, your task and what you've been working on for the last several weeks has been taking your fictional student and giving them the supports that they need beyond the initial IEP meeting. Now, despite the fact that this says measurable goals, writing measurable goals, a couple of you pointed out to me today that in my creation of this assignment over the Christmas break, I neglected to include the writing measurable goals slides on this, despite the fact that I had them on the case study. So I sincerely apologize. I am not going to go back and ask that you add those measurable goals. I'll make that adjustment for next semester, but I am asking that you do the things that were listed on your template. So you have the present level of academic achievement and functional performance, making sure that you have gone back and given the baseline, and I have the example here below with my student Sam, and the baseline data is in bold. And then you have the English language arts standards. You should have 2, and following the standards on the Arizona Department of Education, then you went and listed the subject, grade, domain, cluster, and standard for both English language arts. And then we have the mathematics standard, and those are the subject, grade, domain, cluster, standard, and that's in column 1, and then the standard for mathematical practice in column 2. So you have those. Then, using chapter 10, we got into the ADAPT framework, and I asked that you complete that for literacy for each standard, and then mathematics for each standard. So there's a total of 4. And then there was facilitating content area instruction and study skills. After talking to the group that had a high school student and realizing that education.com did not include high school, I did change this so that there was a high school lesson plan. Most of you were able to do just fine with the education.com, but for those of you who had a high school student, I just added this site today. And then looking at the chapter, choosing a content area lesson, and then looking at one of the sections from the chapter 12 that was most relevant to your student. And then finally, the Arizona Professional Teaching Standards. So I want you to briefly explain how the standard relates to the child in your IEP. And then when you do the sharing of your measurable goals PowerPoint presentation, just choose 1 or 2 that you think are most appropriate to your child. Even though you're writing all of them for your particular child and for your individual assignment, when it comes time to sharing in class, 15 minutes is not going to be a lot of time. So just choose 1 or 2 max that you think was most relevant to your student. All right, hopefully this gives us the information that we need and you are able to present on Tuesday and make sure that everything feels right and upload that by Tuesday night. All right, thanks students.